This is the outer fort of the Hampi, the Vijayanagar Empire. There's an outer complex map describing the location of various areas to be visited. The fort is built again with big granite. Inside is mud. From the car itself one can see the ruins. Some of the fort walls has fallen off. One can see the ruins. All granite. One is a single slab. From the roadside I can see the ruins. This is on the side just to get a little deviation of the sugarcane plant, what it looks like. Again with a lot of rocks around. This is another ruin on the roadside. Indikeshwara Temple. Yeah, try panninga. The road goes through these ruins. I'll get to know the significance of this from the guide later. I just thought I'll go ahead and film it for now. It's a bazaar. This is a temple. I would not know what this stone structure is. Sure, it beats the Egyptian stuff. The history of Vijayanagar Empire is that there was an Anegundi which was north of river Tungabhadra. The Islamic emperors were not only invaded this small kingdom but were also collecting taxes. Finally they got so annoyed and subsequently the south of the river Tungabhadra, the Vijayanagar Empire was established. Virupaksha was a sage who belonged to the Sringeri ashram, and subsequently somewhere in the 12th century the issue started, but Krishna came to throne only in from 1503 to 1530, at which time the empire was fully built with a 32-kilometer fort around with a multiple 7-story palaces and several temples. And in the main bazaar, the precious stone like rubies, pearl and others were sold in a volume manner, like what is called as a seru in Kannada, which roughly measures possibly by volume 1.5 liters. However, in 1565, the son-in-law of Krishna Ramadevaraya, had a war with the 5 sultans, period. Prior to that, the Vijayanagar Empire had expanded to include the modern Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Goa, parts of Andhra Pradesh and Orissa. The war lasted 6 months, but unfortunately the Hindu king lost in the war. The Muslims came south, destroyed all the palaces which are burnt of wood, damaged all the temples, and today what we are seeing, the ruins that happened in 1565. Since then there has not been a rebuild of this marvelous empire which persisted amazingly in this part of India. One correction, as my guide corrected me, Vidyaranya is to be considered as the founder of this empire.
Vijayanagara.
This is called a Sasve Ganesha, or a mustard Ganesha, measuring 3 meters in height, carved from a single stone, built in 15th century. This is the history of this Ganesha carving in Hale Kannada Lipi, it appears to me at least. Behind this Ganesha is as if the back of Parvati, to show as if the Ganesha is sitting on her lap. It's a very unusual carving of Ganesha ever made anywhere in the world. The population of Vijayanagar city was 1 million, of which 200,000 were actual workers. This is Hemakuta Parvata. There is an outer fort to protect about 26 temples. Another view of these mountains and the ruins. As I enter the main gate of Hemakuta Parvata, one can see a present 2-story structure. As I walk through, we can see the ruins of many other temples. 1,000 temples in all of Vijayanagar Empire, meaning in this area within the fort, but currently only in 4 the puja is performed. As I record from left to right, turning, one can see these ruins with the mountains background, and it is painful to watch this destruction by the Muslim invaders. On one of the rocks, one can see the figures from Ramayana, but the importance is given to Anjaneya than to Rama and Lakshmana. This is an Anjaneya temple. Reason is Anjaneya, Vali, Sugriva, they were all born and lived here. When Rama came from Ayodhya to south, this is where he met them. And even when the ring was bought, as known in the Ramayana as an evidence, when Rama gave the ring to Sita to prove that he was coming, this is where that giving of the ring took place. The temple architecture, one can see the precision of the stone carving and how it is fitting probably 1/8 of an inch or less. Another view of the ruins. One can see the beauty of the Virupaksha temple.
Living temple.
Most of the mixture of the limestone and sand, which was
not limestone,
filmed.
that is the bricks and plaster.
Bricks and plaster.
52 meters.
was lost as filmed in the British in their time, as evidenced by some photographs, but the stone structure has survived. These are Jain temples constructed in the 9th and 10th century, before the Vijayanagar Empire came into being. This is another view of the temple between the rocks. Filming of the further ruins. Panoramic view. This is a 52-meter tall. Lower level is a stone. Subsequently, it's a brick and plaster, built in 15th century and still strong and steady. On the tower, where there are sacred statues built, they also have something that is referred to as a Drishti Gombe, which apparently is to divert the attention. Like everywhere there are vendors. This is Sabha Mantapa, or an assembly hall inside the temple. All of the stone with the multiple pillars. This was what was referred to the Hampi Bazaar. Once upon a time, where precious stones were sold in Seru. Now these are all these vendors, but these will be removed now, relocated, so that the original appearance will be restored. As one can see, this Hampi Bazaar, there are two-story ones, but now these people occupied the houses, all will be vacated and the place renovated to look more like what it existed in the ancient time. One can see this huge gallery and the wide roads. Shashi Kumar is an artist who is painting on the spot of watercolor. A close-up view. There are more artists working on the site. Now seem better than in a site earlier. Girls are not behind. These are from Kala Mandir Raichur, group of students in art painting. This is the panoramic view of the Hampi Bazaar. This is another painting. Here is a tourist too. Keep walking. ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರಿ ಚಲೋ He is a tourist too, walking, and is interested from Rajasthan. Lonely Planet restaurant, only that guy will eat here. The whole thing is in the banks of Tungabhadra river. Rajasthani tourists. At a distance is Anjana Devi Parvata. Apparently Anjaneya was born here. Anjana Devi is his mother. This is Kodandarama Temple. Apparently Wali had his Pattabhisheka here. This is Rajasthani cuisine. This is the shop. This is the Vishnu Temple. The Sheshasayana carvings on the top. Incomplete carving of Vishnu in stone, well preserved. This is a Vishnu, Lakshmi and Bhudevi, that is his two wives. The main statues has been damaged and removed. Just these are the remaining. Not only Indians are fascinated to do on-spot artwork, even you can see this gentleman is from Estonia and doing a beautiful sketch. It's a charcoal sketch. This is the Nartaki Bazaar in 15th century. The history you need to ask me for details. This is Pushkarani, now under renovation. Of course, even the Pushkarani is lined by this corridor. In this Nartaki Bazaar, the flooring was all granite. It has been disturbed by the overlying mud. Now it's being cleaned by Archaeology department, which is funding it along with that of UNESCO. All right, now what I've been referring to as Nartaki Bazaar was really a red light district in 15th century in Vijayanagara. This is Achyutaraya complex of Venkateshwara temple of 15th century, now in ruins. These ruthless Islamic invaders had no sympathy even on a rock, let alone people, the way one sees the destruction today. This is the more like an assembly hall inside the temple. Inside the sanctum there is a distracted temple now being supported so that it doesn't fall off, with an all-round gallery. These repair works is all going on for the last 20 years, as archaeological restoration has always have to be slow. Another view of the visitors gallery. This is a 100-pillar Sabhamantapa assembly hall. From the temple one can see, even at the higher level, there were some construction was present all the way to the top. This is the slow excavation, as it has to be digged little by little so that nothing is damaged. This is part of the Archaeological Survey of India World Heritage Site, part of the water supply for the work that's going on. This is the excavation that is done. These steps are not for somebody very, very special. In this weather, even in January, it is pretty hot. More so when it is smooth like this, slippery. Shaila would have enjoyed it very much. So much history of art here and architecture. This is referred to as a Kadalekadu Ganesha. Each of those pillars is from a single stone. This is the Kadalekadu Ganesha, made from a single rock. Again, despite the huge stomach, that rock, the invaders damaged it, as is the trunk. Nice to see a large number of Indian tourists, especially children, learning their history. This is Krishna Bazaar again all this will be renovated. This is named so because of this is a Krishna temple with a main entrance gopuram 6 stories, built in Krishna Devaraya's time, and the main deity Krishna came from Andhra Pradesh. In the same temple one can see the Hale Kannada Lipi time. There is also Devanagari Lipi. These are apsaras at the entrance of the temple. This is a Krishna temple. The tub in front, carved out of a single rock, for storing of oil for the lamp. Most of this temple are Krishna Leela carvings. This lion in the Indian temples presents a lot of ancient places. Could there be a link to Chinese dragon as Buddhism spread from India to China? Question mark. View of the precision work in the temple. This is Badavi Linga, 3 meters above the water, 1 meter immersed in the water. The biggest linga in Karnataka. Next bigger was in Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu. This is Yoga Narasimha, carved from a single rock, including the snake head, arch and everything. Carved in 1529, possibly finished in 1529. It possibly took several years to complete it. The precision of the head is still preserved, thanks to the invaders who did not destroy everything. This is 6.7 meters in height. There is a Lakshmi seated in the lap, but that has been broken and removed. It was broken in a much bad shape. It has been restored, and this is the present form. These are the real tourists, possibly from Rajasthan, who travel, cook, eat, and go sightseeing. This will beat any motor home. Nice chapati, hot being made on the spot, and a nap after eating. Who can beat this? That is a dabba that carries all the ingredients and including masalas. Photographing under the shade of a neem tree is the Pataleshwara Shiva temple. At that time the artisans were not very skilled, that is in the 14th century, and the pillars are apparently plain and the tower not done. This is the main entrance. Indo-Islamic style watchtower as part of the second level inner fort. I am on the top of the rock, about 40 feet, to tape this fort. And the inner constructions. These are noblemen's quarters. They were all submerged under mud, now being excavated by the Archaeological Survey of India, as the excavation is still being continued. This is Ajara Rama temple, where the royal families worship. On my left is a ant hill. The supposition is the cobras live in them. This is the Harihareshwara temple.
Not temple, palace.
Palace. What about a toilet? This is a toilet of the palace, and along this wall, in the back of it, is a septic tank. So they knew the organic way of decomposition. To that is an attached shower. So nothing is new. Things were practiced even in the ancient time.
The water
Well,
canal.
to shower and toilet one needs water. This was the water canal coming from Tungabhadra river. This was underground. There was also an open canal. This is Lotus Mahal, another watchtower. This is a comparative photography of the photographs done in the British time and the modern restoration as of 1953. The British was possibly in the 18th century. This tells of the precise restoration work that is being done currently. These are some of the done from excavation that has been exhibited in this museum. Fine necklaces. This is a painting to show the glory of Krishna Devaraya's darbar or court. Another view of the Lotus Temple. This is Ronnie's, Vijayanagara Ronnie's summer palace, where there is water underneath and then a strong foundation with a Islamic structure with the four sides being open and a watchtower, four of them to protect. The Islamic invaders preserved wherever there is Islamic architecture present, but destroyed only the Hindu architecture and the deities. This is the stable for 11 royal elephants. Next to that, Mahotra is the one who controls the elephant, riding them. That is their resting quarters. So bad news for Ronnie. The Dasara did not start in Mysore. In fact, it started in Krishna Devaraya's time. This is the evidence of around the temple of these elephants. Dancers and all went around during Dasara time. Around this Hajara Rama temple are these carvings of Ramayana. This is Ramanujacharya, who apparently was in the presence of Krishna Devaraya's empire. These temple carvings are well preserved. The underground secret chamber for a king conference with the ministers, so that no one else can know are here. These are the stone canals, water supply from Tungabhadra river into the city. There is also underground drainage system. Holi was not just North Indian spraying colors. This is a huge tank where colors used to be mixed prior to Holi, where kings and queen would join the common men to play. In my forefront is where vigrahas used to be washed, and in the back one can see the canal, water coming into the Pushkarani. The Pushkarani itself is a black stone, multiple stone. After the vigrahas are cleansed, the water is to be drained through this drainage hole. See the stone thali where food was served. The royal family, a large number of gathering used to happen by side of a canal. After eating, that will be cleaned up because the water was easily available. The Vijayanagar Empire was so well known that on the wall this is a Chinese and this is a Portuguese with a hat and all, who all visited this kingdom. There used to be trade in Vijayanagar, and these are some of the merchants who came for the sale. That's why camels are also seen. This is the British cross. Mr. Veerappa challenges that nowhere else in India this can be seen. Stone door. The bottom was put on a iron bearing, but the top of it had a support from these rocks. Back of it there is also a lock, again carved within that single rock. This is Ronnie's Jalakride, I mean the Vijayanagar Ronnie's, with water coming through there with a 2 meter deep, with these balconies for 3 sakis each on each side, with a drainage there. And this particular one, if there is a sun, there is to be a umbrella with all the carvings, and also there used to be music for her to relax. Unfortunately, modern Ronnie has to drive to the clear water swimming pool with no help. Another beautiful architecture. Don't know what it is yet. This is Purandaradasa statue. Those days Aradhana used to take place in this building. Those stone pillars are the pillars of a bridge that connected the Vijayanagar to the outside. The Islamic invaders came from the right side into the empire. When they finally destroyed everything, even they destroyed this bridge before leaving. The bridge in the background, I have traveled in these fan-like boats when I was in school during a visit to this place. This is the Vitala Bazaar, as is Vitala Temple. The Vitala Temple, inner sanctum, this is an appearance. There is a stone chariot here. This is the Vajan Mantapa. More importantly, this is the dance hall, where these pillars had a different number of smaller ones, and music used to be produced with an echo. It will reach far off. The top was of course damaged by the Islamic invaders. This was built at the time of Krishna Devaraya. This is a Kalyan Mandap. With these carvings were painted in the ancient time. Now they've all faded. This is the famous stone chariot with the wheels used to spin before. Inside the location is that of the Garuda, Vishnu's Vahana. This is made of 7 pieces. Vahana Garuda can be seen inside. This is a beautiful Kalyan Mandap. Looking the entire Vijayanagar kingdom, I feel I am born 700 years too late. All right, a bargain, 600 years too late. So view of the dance hall. View of the dance hall from inside.
And these pillars have different sounds.
Different sounds on different pillars. This is the entrance to the city where the roads can go. In this temple, when Sita was abducted by Ravana, Rama and Lakshmana met Hanuman, Sugriva, Nila and Jambuvanta, went in search of Sita and asked Rama and Lakshmana to rest here. In this temple I found one of the oldest Hindi Mahabharat, and despite being Vijayanagar, in this temple the priest is a Hindi speaking, not any other southern languages. This temple, the Garbhagudi is built on a rock. The bottom of it is the engraving of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. This is the Ganagiti Jain temple built in 1386 in memory of the 17th Tirthankar. Across from the Jain temple, some evidence of ruins. This is Bhima's gate as the vehicle comes. Once you enter the Bhima's gate, the entrance and all is concealed, and this is what you see, the ruins. This is Bhima's gate. That is what is seen with the fort showing concealed way so that the soldiers can hide when the enemy comes to attack. This was once an Anjaneya temple, now fallen down, yet this family has assembled to do their worship. These kids are excited, so also these ladies. Ladies getting ready to cook food. That is the way to cut vegetables. These kids want to be in the photograph, and the cooking is getting ready. No matter how much you tell them, they come between the view and the camera. This is the Archaeological Survey of India Museum in Hampi, located in Kamalanagar. Photography is not allowed inside. Number of pieces are so large that there is not even enough space. The most valuables are indoors, which I am not allowed to videotape, and the less important one are outdoors. There are such a large number, and some are in the outside like a storage and still to be labeled and displayed. This is the richness of the sculptures in Hampi. Just Anjaneya alone, there are several places displayed here. I wish I could have one of these pieces at home in my collection. These pieces are yet to be displayed. How is this granite thali? So beautiful is the outdoor museum on green grass coconut trees and cool breeze. And for whatever the reason, I'm the sole visitor now. Statue in a rose garden. This is one of the most beautiful antennas. I saw many colorful antennas in the wilderness. It's one of the most beautiful colors I have seen. This is the museum where there's a large number of indoor items displayed. Kannada Language University, named after Vijayanagara, who was the saint who was present in this area. This is the Kannada University located in the waterfront. This is the Kannada University or Kannada Vishwavidyalaya entrance. This is the romance of Indian road travel. Tungabhadra, currently it is a boat ride that is like a pan. I crossed that when I was a middle school kid. Now there's a bridge under construction which is not ready yet. Look at that, even the motorbikes are transported, which means this is capable of carrying heavy weight. Look at that, 3 motorbikes. Is it a high technology or what? I am finally called Aravalu Putti. I'm the only passenger with a nice, very comfortable seat called an old tire. I'm taking a ride in the Tungabhadra river. When I asked my driver to join me, he refused. That's my dock. This luxury ride would not have been possible with a special person. I am in this boat having a self-portrait. This is the bridge under construction. Once it is done, there will be unemployment for the guys like this. This guy, Mr. Anvaya, indicates that their ancestors come from the time of Krishna Devaraya or earlier. There are people of different castes here, including Kshatriyas. The motorbikes getting out. On the banks of this river Tungabhadra, for camp living, when I talked to this lady, there are some chicken and a tent and the cooking vessels. This lady Dhanamma is a fishing woman. She won't let me take a video for free. I offered 10 rupees, but she demanded 50 and would not budge an inch. The child is, this is like a bedroom. And she does the cooking. This is another room. This is fishing net. This woman cooks here. This is their bedroom, and you can see somebody sleeping on the storage. In US, one has to pay for this campground, and when it rains, the family escapes into this well-protected ancient monument for free. They dry it and sell it. This is the oven to cook hot meal, and the vessels are kept to dry. These are fishermen boys who went to cut some wood, and this fellow I think hunts some birds with that. She's getting the firewood ready for cooking the next meal. Of course, as an Indian, she needs to have stainless steel. They got some fruits. Drive has been the way to drive a truck in the highways in India. Now this is being proposed to be banned so that there is no sale of the cheap liquor that's consumed by most of these drivers anywhere in the state of Karnataka. In the highway now is the A1 Plaza run by Reliance with gas and food, clean and very reasonably priced. In the A1 Plaza, it's an open air with the clean kitchen, and food was reasonably tasty with plenty of parking space, with the signs clearly marked including for shower facilities, and maybe you can even watch a movie. Sure, this beats any American plazas in the highway. Thus this Hampi travel